All right, I'm the flat rate master, and well, the toxicity in this industry needs to stop. Well, let's talk about, well, toxicity. If you're on the internet, you've seen toxicity. I've seen it in the comments of my videos. But as a whole, a lot of technicians, shop owners, and well, people in general are pretty toxic. And it does nothing for our industry other than, well, somebody gets to vent a little bit. It's not helpful for the industry. This industry has tons of problems. Can't deny that. There's, pay issues. Regardless of pay system, there's pay issues. There's management issues that don't know how to properly run a shop. There's, well, it's a dirty job. It's a high skill job that may not pay enough. Going back to the first thing. But so often I see in comments on Facebook, anywhere technicians congregate, there's a lot of toxicity in everything. I mean, it goes back to, the old days on IATN where technicians would berate people who were genuinely asking for help, and instead of being helpful, they just basically made them feel like they were this small and they went away. Oh, I got this problem, and instead of going, you need to do this test, and this test, it was a lot of people. Keep in mind, there were a lot of helpful people back in the day on IATN. I haven't been on IATN in a long time, but there were a lot of toxic people on there. Believe me, I know there was a lot of toxic people on there. And a lot of people that, well, thought they were smarter than they were. And a lot of people that, well, berated people trying to learn. Now, luckily for back in the day on IATN, there was a lot of people that were very helpful, that were wanting to help people learn, and they would help. But there was always that sub-thread of just toxic people that went on rants about people not testing, and everybody starts somewhere. Let's get into more of the toxicness that I'm talking about nowadays. Get out of this industry. You'll never make any money. You'll never do this. It's a lot of toxicness that doesn't need to be there. Warning people that it's hard on your body. If you don't find the right place to work, the right place to learn, you're not going to do well. No, you're not going to make money. But instead of doing that kind of thing, people, well, there's a car outside my bay door in case it stays in. The toxicity I'm talking about nowadays is get out of this industry. You can never make any money in this industry. You'll never do this. You'll never do that. You're not smart enough to be in this industry. You're too smart to be in this industry. Go be a plumber. Go be this. Go be that. Helps nobody. Honestly, it helps nobody, including the person you're talking to. All it does is make you look like an instead of that, just like that sub-threaded back in the day, be constructive. Instead of going, you're stupid to be in this industry, give them advice. That's the whole reason I started this channel, is because of people like that are so toxic. Nobody was really doing this kind of content. That's why I started it, because young techs would come in, the old grizzled guys would be worried about their hours or the new kid taking their job or jobs or tickets or whatever, and they would try to run them off. And you old dealership techs know what I'm talking about. I've seen it, where the new guy comes in, the new hotshot comes in, and there's a lot of friction because he doesn't want competition. So you need to stop that. Just stop it. If you want to be helpful to that young tech, help him figure out what he's good at, whether this is a career for them. Not just telling them get out because, well, honestly, I don't want to crawl around doing plumbing. I don't want to hang, HVAC systems, in a shop in the same 100-degree temperature I'm working in, balancing a $500 HVAC unit above a guy's $25,000 toolbox. So instead of being toxic, talk to them. Figure out what their interests are, what they want to do with their life, how involved they are in wanting to learn in this industry. Preach to them that this is not a nuts and bolts industry anymore. If you want to make the real money, you need to understand fancy computer things. And before anybody says, that's toxic too, diag guys make lots of money. Several friends of mine do mobile diag, mobile programming. They make really good money doing that. They go to shops and diagnose the problem child. They make a lot of money doing that. So there is money in diagnostics. I've made a career out of it. So be constructive. Be a mentor to these young techs coming in instead of being toxic. Help them. This career is not for everybody. I've said that many times. It's not for everybody. People just, if you're a hot rodder and you want a hot rodder, tuner, whatever you want to call the kids nowadays, James over in the upper shop is a great example of, he's a hot rodder who still loves hot rodding and still works on cars. But a lot of people, it will kill that enthusiasm for playing on their own stuff because it's a job. And, be constructive. Work with them. Help them understand what's involved. Now, the last one we're going to talk about is the burned out techs. I hate to tell all the burned out techs out there, but everybody burns out on their career. They get frustrated. They're doing the same thing. Every career in the planet, you get frustrated. You get burnt out. I'm a YouTuber as well as a technician. You think I don't get burned out on one or the other? Sometimes both. You get burned out on stuff. It happens to everybody in every career. I don't care how much you enjoy it. Sometimes you lose all joy of whatever you're doing. So again, stop being toxic. As always, thanks for watching. I am the Flat Rate Master.